as you know today, was actually Bangalore. And it was indeed a city of lakes, where water was abundant. In our own homes, we used to have, most individual homes in Bangalore had wells. We've grown up seeing these wells and using these wells. About 200 meters away from our house was this Alsor Lake, which is in the eastern part of Bangalore. And the engagement with that water body was big in our childhood. We used to watch birds, we used to watch these huge trees with foliage, large foliage on small islands in this lake. We used to watch the regatta on this lake. Just going by to school or coming back from college, there used to be this engagement with this water body. That's how we lived, in our younger days. But sadly, this is what is Bangalore today. We're hearing so much about water crisis, so much of it that literally people don't have water in some areas. Well, people that are dependent on municipal water, that is what comes from the Kaveri river, which is water that is imported to the city. Most of them that receive Kaveri water have no issues, but people that don't have drinking water facility, the tap connection, are suffering today. That means we have become overly dependent on our river resources, which we are importing to the city, and forgotten what is sustainability within the city. So I, as a Bangalorean, being born, brought up, and studied in Bangalore, for me, water was always abundant in Bangalore. I don't remember a Bangalore like this. For me, it is very difficult to comprehend to this fact from abundance to going towards nothingness in 40 plus years. What has happened really? What has made this happen? A, the population. The population of Bangalore has grown from what we were. I remember going to school wearing sweaters most of the time. It used to be like a hill station. Look at the temperatures in Bangalore. Look at the traffic issues. Look at the water crisis. Well, we are sitting in Hyderabad today, and I don't think we are far behind. Again, our city imports water from 200 kilometers away. How sustainable is this? Our population is going to develop in the next few years. Where is our water? Are we going to erase rivers, or are we going to find sustainable solutions for our city? What is it that we need to do together? Collectively, we have destroyed something in the last, especially in the last 25 years. So we moved to Hyderabad from US in 2000. So about almost 23 years we have lived in Hyderabad. And I see a big shift going towards scarcity. This is what I understood as a city. I've been working on ground for almost 9 years. This is what is a collection of thoughts in my head today. We have doubled up as a development. We will be doubling up, as this is from 2020 to 2050. What is the kind of development Hyderabad is going to see? We're going to double up as a population in the next 25, 30 years. We don't have an answer yet to our urban flooding. We go through drought in summers and handle urban flooding. And most of them talk and extrapolate the problem. How many are there actually picking up to see what is the solution? How many of us are doers? And look at the state of our urban water bodies. You just don't even know, is it a lake or a garden or a trash bin? This is how we keep our surface water bodies. Because we have simply lost the connect to the sources today. We are a very tap and tanker society. You switch on open the tap, you need water. If there's no water, you call for a tanker. How many of us think beyond the tanker? Tanker is not an Akshay Patra, it's not going to get you water everywhere. They are actually drawing groundwater which belongs to you and sell it to you at a price, and you're buying it. And what about quality? The unregistered tankers even have E. coli in them. Registered tankers have umpteen number of chlorine, and you're feeding this chlorine every day to your body. So what is it? What is the solution? And we have abundant rainfall. I, as a Hyderabadi and a person working towards water, I can tell you our city has abundant water. We do not know how to manage our water. We have no clue. We are clueless. We don't even quantify what we drink, what we cook, how much do we use in our flushes. We don't quantify water in our own little homes, and neither do we quantify in our communities, in our buildings, in our streets, in a zone, in our neighborhoods. We have no clue how much rainfall happens. What do you conserve, what do you preserve, what do you throw back is never our concern. So the point is, if communities don't come forward, if communities are not connected to this problem, it doesn't matter what CSR funds we get towards sustainable solutions or water awareness, and all of this will not work if communities on ground are not connected to the problem. If they are not connected to a source right next to their apartment, they see a lake or well filled with garbage, and it's okay. As long as this behavior change doesn't happen, if there is no shift in this behavior change, we are looking at another Bengaluru happening shortly, not too far away. And today, most of us are comfortable because of the river water that we are getting. Imagine the river water is plugged. And even with the river water, more than 30 TMC only from the Kaleshwaram project, where the 4 or 5 big resources. And look at the carbon footprint that's happening getting these river water to cities. Whose money? It's your tax money. Plus, you add more tanker bills to your apartment and communities. Are we even looking at the bird's eye view of this problem? Urban lakes. So I started working on an urban lake. I just picked the smallest lake near me, just to understand why communities don't come forward. Why government is intended, but they're not able to do anything. How many times do you see in the papers that there is a plan for 185 lakes? So many people are going to adopt, and that. Why is it not happening on ground? So I went and actually understood this problem on ground. Everybody says that somebody has encroached the lakes. Who is the somebody? It is among us. Our friend who's a builder, our friend who's a politician. They're not aliens from another planet. It is we who are part of the problem. A simple lake that I picked up, 12 inlets to this lake, which is sewage inlets from the neighborhood that was going into the lake. Many people didn't even comprehend to the fact. They said, no, our sewage doesn't go here. I had to open 40 manholes to show them. This is what is happening. So you don't even know where your sewage is connected. Instantly, when we moved on these 12 inlets, the lake became 40% cleaner. Simple. There's no fight, there's no nothing. You just do. So today, we are a bunch of people talking a lot of rights. We never talk duties. So first you perform your duty. What is it that you can do in your own home, community, then you talk about rights. When we started looking at step wells, what are these step wells? They're nothing but recharge zones. They are also sources of water. They also are a recharge point where a lot of water, due to climate change, there's a huge amount of rainfall in a short period of time. Only our lakes and wells and such structures can hold this kind of water that's happening on the roads. If you see urban flooding, rainfall, and within 5 minutes you are in a pool of water. So many traffic jams and your business hours lost, and roads are being laid year after year, infrastructure losses year after year. But what if we capture all this water within your own communities and do responsible recharge within your communities, and you will see a big change in the urban flooding. You will see a big change in your water security. Your bore water will revive, your groundwater will go up. Why don't we do some simple action? So simple actions seem very complicated today. seems very complex, a small, simple thing that you don't do. And as a city, we mount this problem and we stare at it not knowing what is the solution. Simple thing like segregation you don't do in your home, and you look at a huge mountain of waste at Jawahar Nagar. Every day you send some 7,000 tons of waste. You're staring at it and saying, okay, what do we do with this problem? But if 1.4 crore people, even if 80 lakh or 70 lakh people think differently, these problems will not happen. So we started picking wells, and why did I take it at a war footing? Because we started mapping the step wells of Telangana. It's a different typology of water structure, heritage water structure. So I was part of this group from Hyderabad Design Forum, documenting these step wells. I have walked in and out of more than 350 step wells. I know for a fact that Telangana has more than 600 step wells. Imagine all these step wells were intuitively put in place, and they have the best aquifer connect in that zone. They can pull up the groundwater. So there is no debate that should we revive a well. Maybe it's dry today, but that's okay. They are connected to an aquifer. Even if you clean up and open up that well, the rainwater that goes in will keep pulling up that aquifer. The groundwater there will become better. So these sources, people, they had money to build them. Today we don't have the resources to bring them back to life. And they actually work today. They can reduce your urban flooding, they can improve your water security, and they can reduce pollution by diluting pollution in the shallow aquifer zone. Shallow aquifer is nothing but the first zone below your ground layer and the first rock layer. This layer is not understood at all. A huge amount of contamination happened. Now we are talking about Bangalore being 80% concreted. What do you think Hyderabad is? We have crossed the 70%. We are getting there. 80% is going to happen in the next few years. Because we have concreted, we don't have enough surface area to capture the huge amount of rainfall that we get. So, rainwater harvesting is the most important thing to do. We need to keep our wells, lakes, and we need to keep rainwater harvesting interventions, which are very site-specific in Hyderabad because we have a huge granitic layer. You need to know how to do this rainwater harvesting. And our bore wells are our rich sources to send back this water and recharge our groundwater. You don't even need to do another thing. And a huge amount of rainwater can be collected. You first collect in your own sumps, and this is good to drink. In our own sustainable home for the last 12 years, in the middle of a central business district of Hyderabad, which is Gachibowli, we drink rainwater. If it is good to drink, that means 1,000 square feet home can generate up to 1 lakh liters of rainwater in one season. That means you're throwing away 1 lakh rupees every year to the drains. Now how smart is that? So we started working on wells, and this is a well in Kokapet. All of you know there's a huge, if you're in Hyderabad, you will know there's a huge development and construction activity happening in this zone. And water is slowly erasing because people are extracting water, but there is no water that's being sent into the ground. So we started reviving wells in a certain zone. And next to this, there is a prestige tranquil property, about 850 apartments that were coming up. Because we restored this well, throughout the construction, they didn't need a single tanker. Imagine an 800 apartment construction, that's big time water. So we convinced them, we empaneled ourselves as an enterprise with them, telling them now you should go zero discharge. You have benefited from groundwater here, you should go zero discharge. So every tower in this unit, about 2 lakh liters of sump was made in every tower, and the excess water was sent into 13 injecting bore points which we identified for them. So they go zero discharge. A few crore liters of rainwater, not a single drop, goes to the drains. What if everyone does this? The government has a mandate to do rainwater harvesting, but I wish they bring a policy to go zero discharge. Because if you have a 8 crore liter potential of rainwater, you're barely doing rainwater harvesting pits, which is not even worth, which can't even take more than 1 lakh liters water. When you keep on extracting water, what do you think? It's not an infinite resource, it's a finite resource. In the last, if you see, look at 1970s in Hyderabad, you found water at 40 feet. Today you have water beyond 2,000 feet, where what we call fossil water, right? Few thousand years old. And there's something called geological contamination. As you go deeper and deeper, there's fluoride and other contaminants we have to handle. There's parts of Kukatpalli and part of Jubilee Hills already found the traces of fluoride. Fluoride is happening. So who is going to solve this problem for us? It is just us. So taking up, that was the story of Kokapet. So this is a Goshala right next to the Prestige Tranquil property. They have the 60 years ago, 60 acres of Goshala. They have few hundred cows, and they also used to buy tankers. 3 wells restored in their community, and all their rooftop sheds, water is now connected to their wells. So we made something circular there, and they started less dependent on tankers, and today they are quite water sufficient. So what we did is started covering ground and making water positive stories. Because everything you do, you need a proof to the pudding. You need to be able to tell people this is what it is. So the largest, so these are wells we restore, and we do make rain gardens. So a well can restore few lakh liters, and the rain garden around this well in Kondapur restores more than 16 million liters of water. The largest well, Bansilalpet, I'm sure in Hyderabad most of you know what is Bansilalpet, and this is what it was, nothing but garbage. 2,000 tons of garbage removed, and see the monument we unearthed, which can hold 22 lakh liters of water, a few crore liters water saved today. It's a public cultural space today. So fixing a block, right? Taking a small locality and fixing a block became our mantra to get to a water-rich block. And this is what we did, and we see a huge success where we take up wells, lakes, and common area rainwater harvesting in a certain zone. And today Rashtrapati Bhavan approached us to do 3 step wells of Rashtrapati Nilayam, which is a big success story. And we also work towards several step wells like these in the district.